Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the stream today. It's time. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Chat, we're gonna go for like 4 hours today. It's time. We were here in the Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. We just completed the jury examination. Summation examination. That's what it was called. And let's just get back into it. We got no time to waste. The music fades in. Oh, fuck this guy. Oh, God. I just remembered everything about this case in 1 second by looking at this bastard up here. Ooh, Shamsphere. Shamsphere! My God. My lord, how can thy humble servant, Shamsphere, serve thee? What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examination? So God meant me. I do solemnly swear. I recall aught of either, the lamp or the pipe. But your handprints have made a tidy mess all over the wall there. How'd you explain that, eh? What's up, Layla? How's it going? I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5. Oh, me? As I went to some pains to point out already, a print from the self-professed detective's toy has no place in a British court of law. Just for the occasion, I am indeed. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains, at this time, unestablished conjecture. You would all do well to remember that.
Objection.
Well, hold on, good sir. Looking good, thank you. But the prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth of the gas pipe feeding that lamp in Mr. Shamsphere's room to be examined. If there are traces of poison there... Objection, you motherfucker. What appears to be extremely simple is my Nipponese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of tea were required. Yes. Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison were to have been spread on the pipe, it would have completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible. I didn't think of that. In any case, Counsel, I fail to see what could possibly have motivated the man to do as you described. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air into the gas pipework where he lived? Cause he was trying to frickin' murder Mr. Natsume, dude. There's only one possibility I can think of. And that is to use the leaking gas to commit murder. Oh shoot, we're jumping in. Uh-oh, hold on. Order, counsel. Precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end? The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamsphere wanted to end the life of... Bam.
Take that.
Is that a grenade cup? It is. And it's kind of green. If a gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing. I live around these parts myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove is pretty much suicide. You'd freeze to death in no time. Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, has a large fireplace in the part of his residence on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shamsphere was trying to end. That is awesome, thank you. I got it at like an actual museum, I think, of like a Civil War monument or something? I don't remember. Outrageous! I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder. Good gracious! Shamsphere. The accused is actually the aggrieved? Interesting. However, the fundamental facts of the case remain unchanged. Namely, that the accused is the aggressor here. What? How can you still claim that? Let us indulge your fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison on the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that then arises is who put it there? Who did put it there? The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his intent to kill. Yes, that would indeed seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison? So now we must ask, how could anyone have known Mr. Shamsphere's murderous designs? You mean to suggest? Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question couldn't be more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known. The squeaky old voice? What? This guy's only 32. Like, I'm looking. Mr. Daddy here, aka Barak von Zeeks, 32. 32! Whew! I'm saying, like, this lady's older than him. Like, Shamsphere's only 1 year younger. Oh my god. So, Natsume is older than Zeeks, bro. In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe in what was clearly a retaliatory attack can only have been the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Whatever Mr. William Shamsphere may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. And the only person who could have possibly perpetrated that attack is the accused, Mr. Natsume. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. In fact, now that a clear motive for the poisoning has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Would you not agree, my Nipponese friend? He's going against the wall. I'm going against the wall right now. Here's the thing. I think Shamsphere poisoned himself on purpose to frame Natsume, honestly. How did he manage to turn that around on me so rapidly? Miss Naruhodo, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again. And this may be our last chance to gain the advantage. You're smiling right now, and I really appreciate that, but we're kind of in a bad spot. What advantage? Well, it would seem that somebody put poison on the gas pipe in Mr. Shamsphere's room. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt. You mean, name the true culprit? I know it might sound impossible, but if we fail to do that, I have no doubt that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed once and for all. It had to be Shamsphere, man. As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence, the poison, it's all pointing to a particular person now. Fuck, I might get this wrong, actually. The prosecution calls for the jury to consider their leanings again. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman. Okay, I'm gonna save. Von Zeeks is turning this around on me so quickly. I'm going crazy. All right. What? Oh, don't you worry. We don't know exactly what. Objection. Now hold your horses, everyone. How's it going? Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all this. The true culprit of this crime. The true culprit. A term found only in second-rate novels featuring third-rate great detectives, my Nipponese friend. But why not? This farce has gone on for so long already, I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax. Thank you. Tell us, my learned Nipponese friend, what is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime?
Take that!
The music didn't stop. The music didn't stop. The music didn't stop. I'm gonna go ahead and load the game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go. What if it's not Shamsphere? What happened? Oh, shoot. Oh, we have to go through the bomb again. Still a boomer? Listen, Liam, this is like the 1800s. So I'd say they're a little bit older than a boomer. I'd say just a little bit older. All right, I'll do another save much closer. I'll save right here instead, so I don't have to go through that again. My only theory, other than this, is that it has something to do with the... There's no way, right? There's no way, right? I don't think it was Garrideb. It couldn't have been Miss Green. It has to be.
Take that!
It was not. It was not. I am wrong. So chat, here is my new theory. Here is my new theory. There's no way it's Miss Green. I will be so sad if it was Miss Green. So I'm gonna go with Garrideb first.
Take that!
Oh no. Chat. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Take that!
Yes. Okay, it's not Miss. No! It is! Oh shit. Miss Olive Green! There's no way. There's no way. There's no way, Milady. Oh no. I'm trying to figure out how this makes sense. I still think this is Shamsphere's fault. Shamsphere! But like, I don't know. I do feel as though I've heard that name in the recent past, Council, but I don't recall where. Miss Olive Green, the woman from 6 days ago. The victim in the recent case of stabbing on Briar Road. An incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add. Oh, of course, yes, Miss Green. She was left comatose for some 3 days, I believe, but I hear she regained consciousness 2 days ago. And I hardly need remind the court that Mr. Shamsphere's poisoning took place 3 days ago. Here's the thing. I don't know where I'm going with this. No one knows where Ryunosuke is going with this, including me. Where am I going with this? Okay. Given that the woman was lying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi. True. On the night that the incident occurred, Miss Green was in hospital unconscious. So on the face of it, it would seem that she couldn't possibly be responsible. But still, my colleagues and I visited Miss Green in hospital yesterday, and we found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison. Good gracious. Yeah, but she was trying to kill herself, not kill Shamsphere. She had poison. And there is another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to the court. Tell me, Mr. Shamsphere. My lord, pray, what be thy bidding? Are you acquainted with Miss Green? No, never heard of her. Judging by the look on Mr. Shamsphere's face, I think perhaps he genuinely doesn't know her. At least, not by name. As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my learned Nipponese friend's farce through to its conclusion. I appreciate that. The prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena the witness and bring her here. Yes, Miss Olive Green. Indeed, my lord. 1 hour should be sufficient. Oh, man. Very well. I grant the request. Excellent. I hope. The defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say. But at the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned. Okay. I don't know where we're going with this, bro. I really don't. To be continued right the fuck now. Let's do it. Bum, 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 bum. I don't think Miss Green did anything wrong, though. Cause what, her fiance died. I don't know, dude. Defendant's antechamber. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks! Oh, Mr. Natsume. I'm so pleased for you. Locum student Miss Naruhodo Esquire, and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquire S. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent, and proof that my tea is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Ah, Hairlock Sholmes. May you drink my tepid tea and fall over silent. I thought the tea was innocent. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. Please, save your derision. Fuck, I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not? Oh, yes. And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Oh, yes. Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. Oh, yes. And one more thing. Do you remember this? Ah. Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to... It was a laborious task, as the bottle was near empty, but such inconvenience does not hinder Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine. Oh shit, oh no. So I was right. Perhaps, though of course such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now. By licking the inside of its neck is not recommended. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Okay. Can I have a word? I don't know who this is. Oh, can I have a word? Gregson, how good of you to come. It's Gregson. Forget it. Excuse me. Wait a minute, Inspector. He's coming back. He's got chips. I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. I pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation Mr. Shamespeare's ran? Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamespeare's room? A man by the name of, yes, Selden. I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye. Something caught your eye? What, Inspector, what? I've copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourself. Thank you. Capital Offender's File. I need to read those right now. I don't even care. Okay. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, died of natural causes whilst in prison, his final moments witnessed only by cellmate. Estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester's Strangeaway prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours of this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. What's weird about this? I think we just need it as evidence, I think. This is the poison we've been hearing so much about. Strychnine. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle here. Look. You mustn't be tempted to try it. Of course not, as long as we don't lose this trial. Oh my god, no! Even if we lose the trial. No, we mustn't lose the trial in the first place. Make your mind up, Sasada-san. Oh my god, that's really funny and relatable. Alright. Bum bum, bum bum. Include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamsphere's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information. Thank you, Shoddy. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Well, you're not the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache and floods of tears personally, so the best of luck to you. Look who's student, Miss Naruto Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume? It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamsphere. This is gonna be the final battle. What's up, Mr. Tix? I won't really have saved Saseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. Let's go. I'm ready. Miss Olive Green, if she turns out to be evil, I'm gonna literally take that strychnine and down it like it's a shot. All right, here we go. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense, namely that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration. A rather cold assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. So Lord Van Zeeks is the new witness present and ready to take the stand. Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord. How do you get your steak cooked? Probably medium. But I don't really get steak that often. Very well, bailiff, bring the witnesses in. All right, here we go. Ah, look at her! She's, oh my god, she's my favorite. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please. William Shamsphere, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim, to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words. I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no, not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure is too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie. Mr. Shamsphere. My lord, I am thy humble servant. I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would for naught else, my lord. And Miss Green. Yes? You are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume? Yes, the officer did explain. I love Miss Green! Oh my god! He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon. She's my favorite character, like low-key. And do you accept the charge, Miss Green? Of course not. I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. Die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly pea pigment in personage. Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair. It's all very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by that neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital, fighting for my life. Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrett household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days. I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion? What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing. Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamsphere's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened. Oh no! The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful incident? Unfortunately, yes. I'm Laura. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamsphere. But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned. I think it is. Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court. On the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February. Oh, February. So like a month after my birthday. All right, witness testimony, the evening of 17th February. It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve which thou speakst, for I had bespoke my supper. It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business. The matter that you were out there, that's what we gotta press on. Yes, the second incident is Ida Week, what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamsphere? 'Twas the following morn when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officer of the law make on the floor above mine! When Saseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance, but I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here, I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord. All right. Cross-examination. The 17th of February. Okay. I'm gonna press right here. Hold it! I'm here, catch me up real quick. We have formally accused Miss Green of being the one who poisoned Shamsphere. I don't know how it happened, but we did it. We have accused her and she's on the stand. So basically, oh, also, Mr. Shamsphere, he was putting his mouth up to his lamp and blowing in the pipe so that the stove on the floor above him would go out. He was trying to murder Mr. Natsume. That's what he was doing. But there was poison on the gas pipe on the night of the poisoning. So when he put his mouth up there, he got poisoned. And we're saying it was Miss Green who put it there. And Miss Green's incident where she got stabbed in the back and this incident is somehow related. They're somehow very closely related. What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It was nothing, really. It's not worth mentioning.
If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Miss Green!
Shit. Get him out of here.
I love her. She clearly just hit something behind her back. Driving home now. Go speed, or don't speed, but get here quickly. You need to see this. This is insane. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
What does that matter? That has nothing to do with Duncan.
Excuse me. Mr. Shamsphere, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me, the great bard's word springeth from within me without ne'er a thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Well, nay, sire, 'twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though? Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours?
Miss Green. Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong? The card that was mentioned before, containing the note, do you have it upon your person? I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really. Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please.
The music is... Shamsphere's theme is actually kind of nice. I'm not even gonna lie. So... The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. Ah, what is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen that exact same shape somewhere else. Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. It's the same. They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card. Okay. Ooh. So wait, did Miss Green send it to Shamsphere then? Whoa. Was she trying to blackmail him because she knew he killed him? Oh shit. It's Duncan Ross.
Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing of this business.
Hold it. Yes, you didn't regain consciousness until the day after the trial, did you? In the early hours.
Exactly, so how could I have done anything to do with it? And yet you still haul me in here to court like this, honestly.
So at the time of the poisoning, the witness was unconscious in a hospital bed. Could there be a more airtight alibi, I ask you?
And yet, in spite of that, you claim that I was the culprit? Well, but you certainly haven't produced any evidence to support your wild claim, have you? None at all.
There you have it. The good lady has yet to see evidence, my learned Nipponese friend. I'm working on it!
Counsel, I will point out here that the jury's next decision will be final.
Oh, we're really up against the wall here. Oh, Miss Netahutta, you pursued Mr. Shamsphere wonderfully there. It's worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. All right, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere. Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. Ah, yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. All right, I'll just press on everything then. Hold it. I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find the case had been solved and the culprit arrested. Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your awakening and should now be forgotten. Yes, I suppose so. Thank you. But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case. The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I was just walking along the pavement. Hold it! What were you doing there that day, though? What do you mean? The art school you attend. What's it called? Yes, it's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene on the underground. I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End? Well, it's because, oh yes, of course, I thought I might make a nice picture. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term. The point is, she's definitely hiding something. Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth. If she's trying to hide why she was there that evening, I must mean there's a case for her not running. And you, Mr. Shamsphere, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? 'Twould be my pleasure, sire. Mr. Tix, we don't do politics here. I'm not angry, but I just want to avoid that altogether, no matter what it is. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakst.
Hold it!
Hold it. A tavern, you said? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End. So, like... Bro, we know... Okay, anyways. And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Van Zieks? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining, for the locality at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. It's true. The menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness. I would have expected Grub's Grubbery in the local vicinity to have been more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather soupy water and pea-like mush. All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment. Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, he dined at a place we wouldn't normally, it does stand out. Can I read the letter? Or like, nah, shoddy. Nah, shoddy? Bum 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 bum. Wait. Okay, I wanted to see if Slug and Salad was on that map. So Mr. Shamsphere's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. Present evidence. Mr. Shamsphere. Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakst. Very well, I will present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely,
Take that!
I think it's this. I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean? It's best to not mention, yeah, there you go, thank you. Also, are you home, Crisis? You got this up in your car? That's right, my lord, it reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamsphere, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamsphere? Well...
Excuse me. Can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green.
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I? May you watch, Miss Green. I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Oh, shit.
Very well, then. You may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note. Oh! This note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here.
Objection!
You're a liar, Miss Green! The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If that's all true, that is.
What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Oh, is it?
And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamsphere's room. In my room? Mr. Shamsphere, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere?
Well...
Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamsphere. You already knew about this note, didn't you?
I'm Kermit the Frog.
And you, Miss Green.
What did I do?
As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamsphere's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
There is only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamsphere's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry, that hast what? You broke, that were in my room? What on earth? What do you want with me? Oh shit, she's stone cold. She's stone cold.
It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again.
Miss Green.
Yes?
Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind.
Oh! Yes, I know. Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
Miss Green Mortis. Bro, pulled out the actual suit? Hell yeah, dude. I always do it for his attorney. Witness testimony, the anomaly of the note. I do remember now, it was a week ago, pre-adventure, that note was delivered unto me. On the day with writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished.
I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it.
Is that it? Oh, shit. That's not much.
You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamsphere?
Faith, it is so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, it is clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it.
Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was a lie. Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I beg your pardon? I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is.
If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shamsphere's room.
I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
The fledgling will do his best.
Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel?
I'm ready, my lord.
Oh shit, dude. Very well then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamsphere's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note. Yes, 2 facts that are starting to lead me to a more possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one.
Oh shit, dude.
The anomaly of the note! Bum 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 ba 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 da ba. And you can shed any light on the contents of the note at all? My Ganon fell out of Elite, not gonna explain that. I needed 1 match to get back in it, and it was a Game & Watch, and I won thanks to the matchup knowledge gained from fighting yours. Well, thank you for the thanks. You're welcome, man. Nay, sire, 'tis strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily 'tis impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Alack, if the choice is betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature? Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So 'tis true, I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not satiated.
Hold it!
So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared? Well, yes, sire. 'Tis as thou sayst. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered. In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall.
Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all?
I was not alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord, no. 'Tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water, and mine innards to a premium crust of bread, and all around me danced a great many companions. What do you mean? Flies, sire, flies.
Good lord!
In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a Midsummer Night's Dream. Come to taunt me. I love Midsummer Night's Dream. That's a great play. I think they were just flies. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? No! Susato, we love it when you commit crimes. Alright, let's do it. When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room.
Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval.
Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas.
And yet, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in the hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamsphere's room. Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir?
You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Let's go, Zeeks! Oh, dearie me. What's Lord Von Zeeks getting at? I don't know what you mean. It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamesphere about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened, except for you breaking into Mr. Shamesphere's lodgings.
Objection.
Oh, shit. But for what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come into be possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamsphere's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though? Yes, we should pursue that idea, Miss Naruhodo. We're close now. I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough.
I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it.
Hold it. So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it?
I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters.
Introverted? Fie, this fledgling doth readily cast aspersions about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song, the wind doth frolic on my wing. Oh pity, wherefore dost thou accuse me so pure of heart, ample woman?
Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure.
Tragedy, thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years, alas, to enlighten thee, thou must wait so long and in vain. Miss Naruhodo, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mr. Sato. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes. All right, let's see what Susato has for me. It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Sham's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter. Yes, 2 or more less foregone conclusions that led me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. What? Excuse me? Huh? I don't know what he's talking about. Why would I is a really interesting proposition. It's kind of inviting me to present something. I'm gonna present on this. And I think it has something to do with one of these 4, I think. I say maybe this one.
Objection.
No, okay. Okay. Maybe I'll try to reject the Selden file. Okay,
Objection.
no, not even. Wow. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go through all my lives and then I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna load the file. I'll load it. Bum bum bum.
Objection.
It's the bottle. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Give us one moment. Give us just one moment. I should have done that one first, honestly. I should have known. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry set, The liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamsphere. Ah. Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of that pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamsphere's room with poison.
Can this be?
You broke into my room. It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamsphere's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie.
Me! Oh my god! No, my girl Queen Pussy Boss. She's fallen over.
Oh, order! Counselor, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill?
Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts.
But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely.
Well, that's a very good point. Perhaps not, my lord. Snooze the ad, snooze it. There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Zeeks! You kissable man! And of course, the following morning, there was more activity in Mr. Shamsphere's address. More activity? Ah, yes. You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder. That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shamsphere was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamsphere had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell, with the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant. And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end.
The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted.
That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shamsphere was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary! She's on a box! She's on a box! Miss Green was standing on a box. With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan.
What plan?
The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock. I kind of feel bad for the tall idiot. Shamsphere? He tried to murder Mr. Natsume and probably murdered Duncan. Miss Green's, fiance, which is probably why she did all of this in the first place. And that recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home? Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room.
Order, order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up. with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So that's what's behind all this.
You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for the attack on the victim's life?
Take that!
Duncan Ross.
That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residence in the lodgings of Mr. Gyardeb's, somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I'd heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings.
That does ring a vague... of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or some such.
Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamsphere blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. Ah! Oh, Miss Green. Well, what do you know? My name's Laura. The world is so unfair. This is the beginning of her Joker arc. Curses, curious deaths. That's all people care about. If it's an interesting story they want to know, it doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. Snooze the ad, bro. And on once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story's lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. You mean you... Duncan was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamsphere. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry. Marry? Oh, yeah, I get it now. Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamsphere, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? Oh my god, bro.
This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder?
Yeah, essentially. Yes, my lord. That's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mr. Shamsphere have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man. Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. 'Tis lies, all lies, I deny every utterance. And you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either. Miss Green. I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
Objection!
Objection! You wouldn't be murdered, but you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason? I thought I'd have a look around, that's all. Sorry? You're right, I expected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh violence, oh villainy, oh tyranny, oh rotundery of woman! But in any case, when I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. That old place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door, with some terps and a piece of wire. Oh awfulness, oh artfulness, oh tyranny, oh profanity of woman! We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion, but for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed. Well, I spotted the note that I'd sent him lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place. Eh? Yes, we also discovered that hiding place. Inside, we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Ah, yes. Well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. The box wasn't empty. Ah! What was in it? Shoddy! Like a melody! What? There was something in it.
Yes. And I took it. This rather nice key.
Oh my god, Shamsphere. What are you doing with that? What the? Every ounce of color is drained from his face. Give it here! Give it to me now! It's mine, I inherited it. From Selden! His father! Oh my god. What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it? No, What's all this about? He inherited that key?
It was obviously important to you since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care.
Give it back this minute! Give it to me!
Calm yourself, witness.
So Mr. Shamsphere has tried, and in one case succeeded, to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamsphere, at first. But considering everything we now know, I think there is actually something that could explain it. What? I'ma snooze one more time. I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal. Everything we've seen and heard. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all these events.
In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is that you say can explain the motivation for Mr. Shamsphere's alleged crimes?
Take that!
That's an official police report, is it not?
The Selden file? How did you get a hold of that? Selden? The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room.
Well, yes, we know this, certainly.
A room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries.
I see.
And it so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. The sum £1,000 worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found.
Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in this file here.
£1,000 lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it up. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. Shamsphere was the... Oh, not his dad, but his cellmate. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in.
You mean this key is...
Mr. Shamsphere, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? It is a false charge, I tell you, a false charge. The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in this file, but a simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is.
But even if that's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings?
There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot. Why not just break in? Why not just break in? So it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamsphere's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garrideb's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice. Because Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamsphere subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it.
Mr. Saseki Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less.
So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamsphere? This time to out Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. Damn. We got him. Looks like I'm gonna
Looks like I'm gonna stuff it before they get to stretch my neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. I was hiding it up my ass. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in hell, I guess. Shamsphere.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's mine. Huh? What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine. Mr. Shamsphere, it's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me, for the time being anyway. Oh shit, I just knocked my mouse off the table. Verily, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? There's no way this is convincing him. I'm so close. I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up? There's no question in my mind now. The man is guilty through and through. But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Miss Nodohoda. There is a way. Pardon? There's one way I can finish him. No! He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. Which means all we need to do is find it first. A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. Whoa, Van, what the hell? If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule. If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly. This is the final piece in this complex puzzle. But I think we might have it in our possession already. Or rather, I think we may have, well, something that can help us find where that loot is hidden. My lord! Yes, counsel. The defense would like to make a proposal. How to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we're already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it was definitely paid off then. Skin prints! Very well then, counsel. At the court to your side. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceased convict's hole? Fuck, I don't know. Wait, what are we doing here? What's here? Shit, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I misclicked. I have another idea. Stop wasting the court's time. Okay. I misclicked. Ah! I'm never going back to Washington. Gosh. They are? Yeah, I know. Okay, where is there no like thing of like skin prints. All right, let's just do this.
Take that!
Take that! If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shamsphere's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defendant's independent investigation of the scene. Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective, Mr. Sholmes. A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shamsphere. Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Ah! 'Tis Herlock Sholmes himself! What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not? Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since we last met. Mr. Sholmes! He does know Lord Van Zieks, then. Well enough to say something like that, in any case. Mr. Sholmes, though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, that does not give you the right to come in and go in my courtroom as you see fit. If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us uncover vital clues in this case already. Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we're able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup you had been holding. Elementary. So now, Mr. Nodahudu. Yes? What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for the offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Saseki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot that's hidden in his old room. What form will the sample take? I think it's the key, isn't it? Because he must have touched the key. So I'm gonna present Miss Green, right? He didn't touch this, 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 didn't touch this. Unless he did, no, didn't touch this, didn't touch this, didn't touch this, didn't touch this, didn't touch this. It has to be a person. We'll need something of Selden's, and something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record. Upon my word, Mr. Nodahudu, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of the late convict Selden to create an indicator solution?
Take that!
Bam, baby! Miss Green. Me? What do you want with me? The key around your neck, if you please. Sorry? That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room they used to rent. Ah! Mr. Shamsphere, as one great to another, I assure you. If the late convict's haul is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shamsphere, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth. In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key. No! Give the key to me! The detective shan't have it! It's over, Mr. Shamsphere. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt! Whoa. Oh, shameful spear! Despair! Be thy name! Oh, brother. He dead. Oh, shit. Is that a wig? Please be a wig. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out. of the room, that's all. Thank you, User Kenny, for the follow-up. I appreciate it. What's up? So you'd have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods? ... Yet after you'd killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing. Mr. Garrideb really has a lot to put up with. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease. Poor Mr. Natsume, what unfortunate timing. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance, but it wasn't to be. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day. And if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books. I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove into his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. Hey, what's up? William Shamsphere. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done. Oh, it's stone cold! Miss Green is my, like one of my favorite characters. I'm not even gonna lie to you. She's amazing. Oh, wow. Ha. Dang! Stone cold! Let Miss Green get away with it. Honestly, let her get away with it. I don't care. At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died. Are we gonna see him? The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply? Yeah, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. All right, then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? No, I'd better not. We said we'd wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember? Oh, but that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, you fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up to the road to Grub's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican. That place is cursed, I tell you, cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me! I wake up in the middle of the night for freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked, no problem there. It's like, I'm the problem! That's what they're thinking. But how could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered. A rumor I'd heard about how the gas companies go around investigating gas installations. A rumor? Ah, you mean... Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes. How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air to the pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Oh my god, I feel so bad for her!
Once I had had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End. Black market? I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait. If Mr. Shamster was innocent, nothing would come of what you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly. I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamsphere. And then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Sluggin' Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough, so he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. And of course, Mr. Shamsphere followed the instructions to the letter. I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. And I smeared a good amount of the poison I'd bought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, and that it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the culprit would get his just desserts. I mean, I think we should let her go. That's just me. I think we should let her go. I like, you know, Shotty's been through enough. Shotty's been through too much. All right. Yep. Can I give her a hug? 3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward. Yes, my lord. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity we would subsequently find lurking beneath the scenes. I just realized that the judge's voice and Miss Green's voice are quite similar, but I'm not really worried about it anymore, because I don't think I'll be voicing Miss Green anymore, and that kind of makes me sad. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend. Oh, yes. And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you. Oh, shit. Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green. Yes, my lord. You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom. Stripped of something else and put in my room, please. As punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shamsphere. Yes, I know. And you, Mr. William and Mr. Shamsphere, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent and attempted murder of Mr. Soseki Natsume here present. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle? I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. Oh, and I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamsphere didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. She needs a hug. She needs a hug. She needs a hug. She needs a hug. Because of you, I feel so bad for giving her the "my name's Laura" voice now because I feel so bad. But it's too late to change it. Because of you, I chose life, not death. And now you... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Olive, for giving you this voice. And now you've made the truth come out at last. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green. I'm right there with Susanna. I'm crying. I be crying. I be crying. We just look over at Von Zeeks and he's like, there's just something in the air. Who's cutting onions in here? Mr. Saseki Natsume. Yes, my lord. The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty.
We are in full agreement, my lord.
In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not
Guilty! Woo! So Miss Green will probably be in jail for a while, like a good chunk of time. But like, you don't get life for attempted murder, you know? You don't get life for that. So she'll probably be released eventually. Shamsphere though? Tie the noose. Fuck him. Court is adjourned. My learned Lebanese friend, I request you please stop cutting onions. Where's Phoenix Wright, Mr. Tix? We have been streaming this game since last year. I think you would have figured out by now. Okay. Oh, yes. Yes. At last. Divine justice duly done! Divine justice. My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. No! This has nothing to do with my mustache. I will need to drop off my application. I will return. Okay, Crisis. Good luck on your application. He's not dead. Chat. Okay, I'll explain this for everyone. This is like the 1800s. Phoenix Wright has not been born yet. We are playing as his ancestor. What is there to understand further than this? Is this clear now? Okay. Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes. Welcome, student Miss Nodhood Esquire. Once again, you've saved me from doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. And congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days. I was first acquitted when they gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books. You've had such a difficult time, haven't you? Almost a year? Damn, really? That's crazy. Oh, but a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did, and I've seen more of life in this week than all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences. Sholmes is not racist. Amen. Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Ah, well said. I've come to feel the same way. ... But I'm getting out of here. I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What? I mean, yeah, Shoddy, go get into chapter 1. Just when we'd become friends here in England. What a terrible shame. Oh, I know, that does tug at my heartstrings. It really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. Yeah, A novel of sorts, I suppose. Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Miss Natsume? How wonderful. Because he's an author in real life. You bastards. You bastards. How wonderful. Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature. Why not, when that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache? I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur. I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, at all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious. From a battle with the Reaper. That's very true. Is that Adolf? No, what the hell? And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor. The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand. My goodness, yes, faced with such a terrifying prospect. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure. I'm leaving, like, now. but that's not why I'm leaving. I mean it. Oh my god. All right. And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Right, because if you missed the last 2 streams, this entire chapter has been a flashback. I forgot about, it's really easy to forget about that, actually. It's really easy to forget about that, now that I'm thinking about it. This was 6 months ago, okay. Saseki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well, on the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day. The day that we uncovered the loot hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. Oh shit. Oh shit. We're gonna find it? We are! 24th February. Mr. Natsume's room. Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just 1 day. Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellow, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson? Gregsy's been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily? I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth. So, it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. And what's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let us look then, if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hole. What is that? Oh! It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar. There's blood on it. There's blood on it! Oh no, oh no. What is it? What? Hold on. What is this? A collar. It's huge though. And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth 1,000 pounds. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There are some dark stains. Dude, you don't think they could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. Then, of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown. What does it signify, do you think? Oh, I hadn't noticed that. B. I don't know if I know any bees. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before. You know, where could it have been? That's enough of that, I think. What? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? All the color is drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? It could be valuable evidence, after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key. Yeah.
Get your grabby hands off that you lot and hand it over now.
The wolves of the, what the fuck was it called? The chapter? I've never seen a collar that large before. I have. And all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least, not once I'd noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Could they really have been blood? Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now. And you look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating. You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, I presume. The mystery of the knife in the mist and the mustached man and the convict's curse, perhaps. I can make it a 2-part story. Oh, I can't wait. A word, please, Iris. Yes, what is it, Hurley? I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question. What? Why not? It's a great case. Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your 2 titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear? Oh, shit. What are you hiding, Sholmes? What are you hiding from us? Yes.
And so it was that the second of Souseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity.
Okay, Ryunosuke, if you want to voice act, just let me know, all right? Just let me know.
Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story.
Why? Oh my god, there's just so much
It would
of
take a
why.
little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Oh shit, the Crystal Tower. Oh, broskies. And holy shit, what a great chapter. Woohoo! Hooray! All right. The Return of the Great Departed Soul. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. The fact that this chapter is just cursive writing scares me. Scares me, bro. Let's go. Episode 3. The Return of the Great Departed... the Return of the Great Departed Soul. Austrian Empire, Ottoman Empire?
End of the century Great Exhibition of London.
Whoa.
Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it.
Are we getting the Ottoman Empire?
New works of
That's
culture
dope.
and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century.
Yes.
Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success.
Except for... There we go.
As regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
And like the centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, which rose high into the skies of...
Whoa, it's blew up.
Sholmes's brilliant deductions,
Whoa.
as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Holy shit. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one.
We're here at the showground of the Great
Keep going, I guess. I'll just chill. I'll drink my soda.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
So this is like 1900 flat right here, huh?
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into
Oh
the
god, I'm so excited.
future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
I'm sorry? Oh dear god.
A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity
What?
and beamed to another location,
No, this is gonna go wrong.
whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
Oh my god. Well, get in. You're gonna die. he's gonna die. What?
In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air
Uh-huh.
to arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you.
The voice acting is great. This dude is hilarious. He's gonna die. Okay, this voice actor at the time of his life. Uh-oh. Yep, there we go. You're gonna die. That was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. All right, Sholmes is sweet. Dot. Reno, are you listening? Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris? What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast? Oh, no, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again? Today's paper. It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again. Ah, yes. The Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime. You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley? He's also down. Did you say something, Iris? Oh gosh, you're even more down. Dot. Ah! When did you arrive, Mr. Nadahodo? I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you might have known I was here. You know, because breakfast? Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim, so much that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well within some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly it can be deduced therefore that. Let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. Dot. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now. 6 months since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned. Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley? My God, Herlock. Did you say something, Iris? Ah, back to moping. Well then, I'm banned. I got banned. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me. I know, and the Great Exhibition is open. You'd think he'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go see it together? I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case you can't be distracted from? Is that it? I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley. I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Yo, let's converse. Events 6 months ago. Alright, let's talk. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl on trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time, unforgivable mistake. Broadcasting government secrets in an open courtroom? You know? Is that what we're talking about? Because I kind of expected this.
Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable. Miss Nadahudu.
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. You know, in the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing. Mr. Rister White, what's up? You have, haven't you, Reno? Reading all those big, fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Sholmes' old cases. Brewing Oris' special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me? You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Nadahudu. Well, femboy maid Nadahudu, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall. Lord Strongheart? Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, the delightful Lord Chief Justice, not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could, and I can't do that just sitting around here. The Great Exhibition. The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons. Look down on... Do you mean those things fly? Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air. But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. Oh, 1800s. I can't understand it at all. That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge. You bastards. I suppose they might be. Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I had seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are. Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable, and that is my proper atmosphere. Okay, nice, thank you for that. Can I read it? Shadows cast behind, is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Well, I suppose I'll look at it. Okay, hold on. First, let's look at the first one. I saw Lord Van Zeeks, and I need to flip it back, or I need something softer first. Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go to see it properly before it's too long. First test of matter transport device. Lord the Reaper attacked! Lord Van Zeeks and compatriot cornered. Ruffians aim to intimidate a man of justice. So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy looking one, that is. Wait, what? What's the matter, Runa? The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? Who's compatriot? Oh my god. Well, first of all, let's look at your gloomy mood. Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add. That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shh. Quiet, Mr. Nodohodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. You're acting very strangely, Hurley. What do you mean, Iris? Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood. Ah. Is it really a case that's bothering you? Iris, please. You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes? Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. That was a deep sigh. The Reaper attacked! Crisis, are you seeing this? Our kissable man was attacked? No shot. It says in the paper that Lord Van Zieks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes, Prosecutor Barak Van Zieks. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Look at him! Ugh! Stop making me feel weird things about men, Barak Van Zieks. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues often find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hands of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Miss Nodohodo? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time. He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness, is he all right then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know? Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition. Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I can't wait until tomorrow. My kissable man's in the hospital. We have to go. In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps. Oh shit, we gotta go. Oh, he's suited up. Well, I must be leaving now. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. Aha, you really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time. The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but now I'm wondering where you're going. Well then, see you later indeed. Listen to him, he's still laughing on his way out the door. Look at her, she's so tiny. She's so tiny. She's got little bun things. Ah! She's so wholesome. Let's get, Iris, what are you wearing? I've got change to go to the Great Exhibition. You're gonna take me. What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court. Oh, well that sounds fun too. You're gonna take me there then. All right, fine. Just lower the weapon, would you? It's so late, but not our kissable, man. Crisis, look at Iris's outfit. It's so adorable. Of course, and after the Supreme Court, then we'll go see the Great Exhibition. That was the greatest thing I've ever witnessed. A new location has been added. Lord Chief Justice's office. I haven't been here all game. Oh. 22nd October. Here we go. Here we go. I can't see it. I'm on audio only. No! You know how Herlock Sholmes has like his outfit, but then he has the coat and the hat he puts on over it? Iris has one! Iris has it! It has it! And it, like, she has a little hat, and the hat covers her buns. It covers her hair buns. They're so adorable. Okay. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Ah! Iris! What are you doing? It doesn't even seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. Oh my god. Crisis. Iris is being adorable. She's happily reading over there. Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here. Of course, I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. Ooh. When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan.
Ah, I understand you wish to speak with me.
Oh, Lord Strongheart! I trust you've been keeping well?
Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies.
Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space.
Good to know.
Good to know that doesn't appear to be bother him at all. Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status.
As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And for— Damn, my red Yoshi! Look at all those Steam notifications! He started playing Terraria and then T-Mod Loader? Whoa! My man's going crazy in the Steam library right now. Dang. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium.
Oh, I've not heard about that.
Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do, and it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind as it happens. Runo, just take a deep breath and come out with it. Permission to work. I actually came here today to ask for your permission.
Go on.
6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened. But the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes? Here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. Don't play his theme. Don't play his theme. I'm gonna start crying. Don't do it. If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him.
His calling, you say. Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling?
Sorry?
The mission with which that young law student was charged, what do you suppose it really was?
What do you mean? Mission? He's not making any sense.
Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions.
Do you mean...
As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's wonderful news, Reno.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope.
Of course. Please tell me more. First of all, no, let's do this one. I don't want to kill the mood. You described it as a curious affair.
Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday?
Oh, no. Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think. Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with a click of the fingers? That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil may care. Devil may cry. Oh shit. Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination.
It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman, an inventor and a well-known figure in society.
A large explosion? A man died?
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrain.
Harebrain? Okay, buddy.
He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow. On the charge of murder.
What? Murder?
If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation.
The Great Exhibition? A scientific experiment gone wrong? And a murder? I feel out of my depth before I've even started. Still. We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think? Definitely.
Oh yes, one more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper.
Oh, with Lord Von Zeeks. How? I guess I'll just talk about this.
All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium.
It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it?
Exactly!
Ah.
London, the global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible.
Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it?
Exactly! The future of policing.
Ah!
Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods.
Oh dear, that's alarming.
Exactly! It's extremely alarming.
Ah! The birds keep scaring her.
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim.
Sorry?
By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now.
What? Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. I was...
Oh god. Am I dying? I see the light! It's all flashing before my eyes! Ah!
And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission.
Oh, right. Yes. That's wonderful.
Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be.
And Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now. I wish I didn't have to pay attention. Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful? I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science.
I'm right here, you idiot.
Present, I guess? Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this?
The reports of overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition, of course.
No, not that. The story on the back page.
What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he? Not Mr. Reaper.
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you.
Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know.
Very well, if it interests you.
It does, strangely. Van Zieks!
Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter.
But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know?
It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks. But the man was acquitted. I have no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes.
Large sums of money.
A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday.
But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely?
The victim's henchmen certainly seem to think so. He was a man by the name of Assman, Mr. Odie Asman.
No way! Oh my fucking god. No way! Did you say Asman? That's the man who died in the big explosion of the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization.
Unbelievable. I wonder, can I ask you something, Lord Strongheart?
Try me.
Now! Why do you use Lord Van Zieks as a prosecutor? ... All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zieks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still. Something's clearly going on here.
I have Van Zieks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him.
That doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died, if not by someone's hand?
Van Zieks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course.
Well, damn, shoddy.
Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget.
11 hours late. That's quite something.
That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man.
I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Zieks now?
I would assume he's at his office.
Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth.
Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Hairbrain's defense entirely in your hands.
Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Damn. Prison and the prosecutor's office. Oh, I want to go here really bad. Look at all his chalices. Oh my god. 22nd October, prosecutor's office. Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office. Yes, it appears so. Brr, it sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere. Oh, is that? Who is that? Is that the colleague? That hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who it is. What are you? I want to make it like Van Zieks, but not. What are you? What are you doing? I'll figure it out. What are you doing here? Oh, this is Van Zieks. Big Dick Johnson just entered the frame. What are you doing here? He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh. That's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. Oh shit, dude, this is like Star Wars and shit, okay. It must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. He's very able in combat, a requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the paper? You mean the attack on you, Ryunosuke? The Reaper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself, assuming that is such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. Oh my god. Last night's attack. Lord Strongheart said the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack. True. Carried out by henchmen of Odi Asmon's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odi Asmon. He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means via his criminal activities. And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper. But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances, it was a most unusual cause of death. I know about that. I was super high voltage, instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asmon died when the demonstration on the public experiment ended in an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you? Well, no. That does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least. It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Runo? I mean, what with you taking on the professor's defense for the trial tomorrow? What? You're going to be defending him? Oh, yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest. Albert. Albert Hairbrain. That's right. Do you know him by any chance? Ooh, he might. Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together. You're... What? Damn, bro. Okay. I'd understood that Professor Hairbrain was from Germany, though. Hairbrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research, that's all. So you were students together? I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in Science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days.
I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, of all people, representing him. Only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me. By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends. We are friends, it's true. Then why would you do this? If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed! ... Oh shit. What's Lord Van Zieks thinking? There's something else going on! There's something else going on! Who's controlling you? The Reaper's identity. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean... I'm a crown prosecutor and a mortal like any other. I'm no demigod. You are to me. But they've all died, haven't they? The people you prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal. I don't know why I said conviction like that. Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without a question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. But that's not true, Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all. Nor was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now. ... I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances... Hi, still on audio only, what's up? We are in Van Zieks' office talking with him! Ah, he's so cool! It was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way. But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true. ... The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. Oh. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. ... Do you mean to say... I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor. But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed! Switch to video. Oh my god, hot man. If that is my fate, let God decide. He's so cool! Lord Van Zieks. Okay, I have to examine this picture. Oh, that portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, oh, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zieks' facial features. Oh, interesting? Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated the subject's handsomeness, I think. Ah, oh, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it? That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. He's like, that's not me. Oh, then who is it? Your father? Question mark? ... What do you mean ... Oh. Chess? Lord Van Zieks' desk, look, it's so stylish. And that's a marble chess set beside it. Chess, that's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems. Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case. I'd love to challenge Lord Van Zieks sometime to a bout of shogi problems. If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home. The chalices, look at them. Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit.
And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world. And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless. Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes. Oh! Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. So, it's my fault. Silly me. How could I ever have thought otherwise? Van Zieks! Ah! What is this? Oh, look! It's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground. That's amazing. I wonder why it's here. Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person? Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Surely it's obvious I'm using it as an investigative aid. Ah. You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. Ugh, I really didn't think he'd overhear that. I love it that he's here. Okay, but who is this dude in the corner of your room just sitting here looking like he's Yoda on Dagobah? What is he doing? It really looks like a punishment to me. I've never seen someone sitting like that before. He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think that perhaps he's dead? If he was dead, Runo, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he? Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's gonna talk to us. He's not dead. Bruh, I wanna know who you are. By the way, this person, there's a dude sitting in the corner of the room. He is Van Zieks' apprentice. Crisis. His apprentice! Oh. So, what can I present to you? I'm gonna present my armband. Hello, here's my lawyer's badge. I know you've seen this around my arm before, but what is it exactly? It's the mark of a defense lawyer. In Japan, at least. And what's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor? Oh, well, I don't know, really. I can understand, at least. There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become what you are today. Oh. But that's a personal matter. Something you may want to keep close at all times. Not something to flaunt. No, I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though. Inspirational Roots Achievement Unlocked. I got an achievement for that! I got an achievement for that! Show you the newspaper. Lord Van Zieks, about the article in this paper. Ah, yes, it seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me. It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though. Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? Why are there bats in this room? That's actually so cool. As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? Yeah, your apprentice! Okay, let's listen. He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose. Ah, like you are to Hurley then, Runo. I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask. On Lord Strongheart's orders, nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. Oh shit! Oh, he's cool! He's cool! Apprentice. Okay, this is the big moment. I need a voice. I'm gonna do like Van Zieks' voice, but without the gravel, so a little just
bit like this instead, but without the gravel of it.
Ah,
The task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collect all the briefs.
oh, he just nods. Does he speak at all? Nice to meet you? Holy shit. Oh, he ignored us! Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed. And yet, somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. What the fuck does that mean?
Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it.
Oh, I see.
Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway?
Oh, no, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to. The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. He's sexy. Okay. It couldn't be. Couldn't be what? What?
All right. Ah, yes, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
That Nipponese man, is he faring well?
Sorry?
The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago. With the stoop, and the mustache, and the jitters.
Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean? I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Runa. Oh, he cares? I think he's just wondering, like, if he's dead. He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day.
I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case.
Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Saseki-san, after a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. Oh, maybe he does care. I never imagined Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books. A mad scientist? Ah, you mean Professor Harebrain. Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Von Zieks, I think. He's just standing there and his theme starts playing. He's not even doing anything and he's just standing in the middle of my screen. Let's look at the bats. I want to look at the bats. Woo! That scared me. That actually kind of got me. No, fuck. God damn it. They were bats. Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect. But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Just not the flying kind. He must be a dear friend to Mr. Reaper, then. I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary, though, either way. Here we go. Oh, look at him. What a little guy. 22nd October, prison cell 11. The warden said cell 11. That's this one. Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look. What's his name again? Professor Albert Harebrain? Wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Harebrain. Hi. He's German. Wait, no, he's British, but he's just studying in Germany. Okay. Who are you? No, that's Saseki. Who are you? Yeah, I like that. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer! Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! That magnificent demonstration was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens, no lawyer believes in the science. When they explain, they all leave at high velocity. Yeah, I can't get it too nasally because then they'll be like Miss Green's voice and I can't have that. Now it's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while too. Well, converse. Yesterday's demonstration. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday. The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he?
Yes, you can interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Oh, well, I suppose in the strictest sense. The experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success.
You've lost me.
I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Assman was spontaneously disassembled.
It's probably pronounced Asman, but I want to keep saying Assman. That's great.
Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. Have you gone on Reddit by chance? At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However,
The machine exploded and Mr. Asman, in fact, perished.
yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure.
So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Assman was an accident, correct?
But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished. At once. But... murder? Never in a million years. It was an accident, simply an accident.
I see.
Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident...
Wait a minute, do you see? Wait, look at Iris's backpack. She has like a little rabbit that's Hurley and like a little squirrel that's Iris. I don't know if you can see that. That's adorable. Okay, anyways.
Well, if it was really an accident, then
Well,
if it was really an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds?
Yes, it's newly established here in Britain. The special fuck, what? What is that? Okay. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
That one passed me by.
But if the case is treated as murder, then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial.
Ah, I see now. We've got a theme. Instantaneous kinesis. So, in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday.
Yes! Or rather, no. The devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion.
Sounds like the same to me.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating. Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage, to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see? That's my amazing hypothesis.
Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science.
Oh, but dare to imagine it. Dare to dream of such an incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in the cell, and the next, I could be at the Great Exhibition again.
Well, yes, that would be incredible.
And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at Great Parisian Theater, say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach.
So no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days?
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk. My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean?
I'm sorry if I'm voicing him annoyingly, but it's just what fits.
Oops, that got Professor Bunnybrain really worked up by the look of it. Fuck, I'm fucking up my lines, I'm sorry.
Clearly this is another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose.
Yeah, you know, we were so preoccupied with the question of if we could that we didn't stop to consider whether or not we should. That's what Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park. I think I may have gotten the quote wrong. I'm sorry, I only watched it twice. The point is my calculations are flawless, the science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment. Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have. That's exactly it, yes. Hurley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science. Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Assman.
The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? The Victim. I want to talk about the Reaper's varsity years. What a great name for it. I understand Lord Von Zieks is a friend of yours from your university days.
Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, an all-around nice fellow, really.
Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barak Von Zieks. What was he like when he was at university? Talk about a leading question, Runo.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Von Zieks family, with all its great aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had quite such noble blood. Little darling?
It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less.
Yes, that's right.
I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Really? What sort of event?
I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already.
Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Von Zieks will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow.
Let me guess, his dad died in an elevator and the power went out and he got shot by Von Karma. Is that what happened, Von Zieks? Is that what happened?
The Victim. Okay. The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Assman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man?
Oh, we bonded over our love of ass. He visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars.
I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then?
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel.
Oh, really?
An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Assman provided me with the money and exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specifications.
But then your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Assman. I would never have thought of taking the man's life.
Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. Oh, brother. So, Professor, let me make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who is in fact the sole investor in your work. Is that correct?
As correct as 2 squared is 4, I swear it.
That is right?
Yes. Yes, it's true the man perished in a machine of my invention. So I know I'm far from blameless in all this. But still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life. Not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science. It's all I know. You have to believe me, please.
The more panicked he gets, the more high and nasally I'm getting with it. I think that's funny.
Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis?
Let me eat some limes real quick. Yeah. They taste good.
Science is the pursuit of truth, you know, and I've always believed that all my life. ...
I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories, but I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. That's all I know. You have to believe me, please.
Yeah. Actually, I've decided no. When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything.
Thank you for that, Professor.
And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
All right, Runo. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition. Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate it last. Here we go. 22nd October, the Great Exhibition. Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. Oh shit! Finally home. Welcome back. Ugh, the showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I've felt myself swooning 3 times.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trodden on 3 times too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. Aw, they're holding hands. We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. Damn. What? What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. It sounds like an argument. Oh. Oh, Gina! Right, I've had it with you this time, I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah? Go on then, Spectre. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices. You got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady, but a night in the cells will teach you some manners.
Just try it, I dare you. If you want that bag of chips rammed down your throat.
Yo! Yoo-hoo! Gregsy, what are you doing up there? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. It's Iris. Oh, no. Oh, it's you. Here. You're here. Here you are. You, here. Your ladyship. Oh, fuck. How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady? Oh, my God. Fucking Lionel Richie, bro.
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable. I'll go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship.
It'll be fine. It's hard to kite. No time. I'll pull some strings for you.
Damn, bro. Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be. Watch it, sunshine. Sorry? What gives in? Don't tell me you're on this case. Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
Dear me, that's the situation, is it? Is it really that troubling?
I'm easy 5 bob. Is that all you got? Yeah, lawyer, ain't ya? You should stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Nada Odo.
What? Hey, that's my last bit of spending money, that is.
You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket, or a diver, born and bred in the East End of London. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago, this is the young girl I was defending in court. She looks so nice with her new outfit.
What's your bob, mail do? Diver, pickpocket? What's with all the name calling? You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do ya?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Otto. After your years, a long time, people can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. Ah!
No way! Oh my God, she's Tobias Gregson's little apprentice. They fit each other. They have a, I can see it. They have a little father-daughter dynamic going on. I see it right now. You can't get it on my mind. I know it. I know it when I see it. I know it when I see it. So you have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now. Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely. The inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls it that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us. What's that supposed to mean? I almost got her a what's that supposed to mean? Alright, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright? Right, sir. Gina! This raises a lot of questions. Oh, I love Gina's theme. Just... I listen to this all the time. About Gina. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder. In a murder! I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done. I can get weirder. Why can I kind of do a good John Mulaney voice? I'll have to develop that off stream. I'll develop it and I'll get back to you guys on that. So you went from being a pickpocket to a detective. You got it. Good in it. Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh? Talk about a sea change. And then there's Iris's old man to think about. Iris's father, you mean? Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him. Just a small promise then, nothing serious. Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet. Her father's dead! Okay, so anyway, that's how I had to go with the test for Scotland Yard. And the trouble is, I don't read so well, do I? Just a small problem, nothing serious. And that's when Hurley approached Gregsy and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice. That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson, and brave. Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants. The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words. So, the long and short of it is, if you got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Alright then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there? Oh, what, Runa, what? Can they hear me when I do the blue text, or is everyone in this series a psychic? Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty. And yet here she says still. Ah, come on, you're not on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper, or whatever it's called. Cool, you don't half worry, Odo. If I didn't half worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. It's like I told you before, ain't it? The Reaper's kinda like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. That's what, I ain't really done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong, might be stretching a point. What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he? Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought. Exactly, so I ain't worried, I'm totally fine. She just like, a wrench drops on her head as she says that. Oh, fuck. Oh, it was out of this world, it was. The brainy bloke put a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started billowing smoke. And it just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet. Sorry? You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean. The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's gonna take some getting used to. So all I have to say is I'm on duty and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was just up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. You know how to put the boss in his place already, or Iris? You have no trouble at all. Then it's settled, when do I start? No, you can't join Scotland Yard, Iris. We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success? Oh, right. Well, it was a success in a way. It was? How can it have been? Successful experiment? Pajamas time, I'm tired of being in big boy fancy clothes. That's what I'm gonna say after the stream ends. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. It's kind of like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and all that whopping great bang. But where'd you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there. What? In the tower? You can see it for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold. Oh, where all the glass is broken, you mean? Yeah, the cage what the victim got in to start with really did get beamed to the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So, you see, it did kinda work, didn't it? What? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. Oh, I tell you what, you can have this. It's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard. Are you sure? Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob off you before, so fair's fair. Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating's off the cards for all of us. Yes, naughty old Gregsy. Iris. Naughty old Gregsy? Whoa, that's the first time I've heard anyone call him that. It was a different time back then, chat. Naughty did not mean what it means now. Without explaining himself. Right, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine work below Neb yesterday. What? That's not fair. We're representing the defendant. In that case, could you tell us what you've learned from your investigations? Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither. Why? What the boss did call them again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, innit? So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before. I thought I could have a gun down the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him give me an earful about it before down here, didn't ya? It's not bleeding fair. I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember it. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. You say something to do an auto? Go on, see if you can get through to him. He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is. We can try, can't we, Runo? Gregsy will listen to us. Oh, he will. He will indeed. So, what? Are there parts here? H. Oh, that's so cool. That's why the Carib ended up after his instant kinesis or whatever they called it. Dead, of course. And yet they're calling the experiment a success. What's the wooden scaffold there for? The coppers, our lad, set that up at the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. Dunno, really. Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then? Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout is for the fun stuff. Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? Ah, it looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here. Dropped or hid. What is this? Some part of a machine that exploded? Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps. What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Ooh. It was so obvious, though. I'm just saying. For some reason, the ground is damaged in the spot. Look, almost as if there was a fire here or something. Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers, too. Well, I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been. I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Runo. Oh, look, what's this? A ripped piece of cloth. It's not like any fabric I've ever seen before. It's very thick and stiff. It looks extremely durable. Leather, maybe? It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well. Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion. Let's make a note of it while Ginny's mid-yawn. Hell yeah. Oh wait, I can't go up there? I probably have to examine the stairs. Whoa. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. 22nd October.
The Great Exhibition Grounds Experimentation Stage.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up. Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share. You've seen things like this before, you mean? Of course, Hurley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry. Ah, That might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs. One time, he made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Runo. It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof. Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
Alright, Gregson.
Oh, look, Inspector Gregson is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully. Really? He just looks confused to me. Bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum. It ripped apart itself magnificently, doesn't it? Magnificently. And mercilessly. So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air. Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point. Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris? Oh, Runo, I'm just a child. How should I know? A child when it suits you, you mean? From what I can tell, I think if you were to pull this lever here... Stop! Don't touch that! Ah, that was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Gregsy.
Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
So sorry. You can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
Ah, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful.
It's just like old times, this is. So what's up, gamer? We're representing Professor Harebrain in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene.
Yeah, listen, Sunshine, even though I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act to blame. It's driving me potty.
Oh yes, that special dispensation. Dispensation. The professor mentioned that too.
More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look, aren't we?
Eh?
Surely that's all right, isn't it, Gregsy?
Hey. Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you?
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Runo? She really knows how to get what she wants. All right, gamer. I'll talk with you, though. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body, and then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public.
True, it was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mine.
To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean.
The government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology in the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the odd spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see.
Yes, I suppose that's true in a way.
So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
They're making it so that any theories the brains have to remain their legal property, as it were. Right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new High Felton Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it.
I see now.
The only people with the permission to investigate here is some brand new department at the Yard. The Forensic Investigation Team, it's called. We've been relegated to keeping guard.
The Forensic Investigation Team.
Any old fool can see that this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flat-mid thing with it.
Poor Gregsy. He's very head up, isn't he? My jaw is starting to hurt. I've been going for 3 hours. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here?
Haven't you had any Sean?
I'm not gonna say the name again. Yes. I think Hurley mentioned that recently. With a real twinkle in his eyes, I remember.
Oh, I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Especially, past especially for this great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas for inventions or some suits in the civil service, and it gets rubber stamped. That's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me.
Thanks for that. Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's also fun.
Might be fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh?
Thanks, science, that's what I say. Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers, bogus contraptions.
But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point.
Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly.
Sorry?
Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant.
The scientists get funding.
Exactly. And that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to small politely welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. You can see why I say it now, can't you? Hang science, hang it!
Oh, maybe I can see your point. Damn, dude. Hanging it? I don't know about that one. I like the Ferris wheel in the background, though. It's moving while we're talking. That's very nice. Apparently, Professor Harebrine lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research.
That's right, came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants.
Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. It turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zieks.
Eh, what's that? That's news to me. But if Van Zieks mans the prosecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is
sealed. Because the Reaper will get him one way or another.
Blimey, that man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in the head of his. Talking of Van Zieks, this morning's papers ran the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh? How long is that business gonna keep up, I wonder?
The mystery of the Reaper. Oh yes, let's talk about Van Zieks more. The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Assman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard.
Lord Barak Van Zieks is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win.
Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it?
Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zieks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court.
Although the man himself denies that charge.
Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zieks is in no way related to the deaths of the people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would.
But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't just coincidentally died if nobody killed them.
I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper.
Professor Harebrine mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zieks was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind.
You what?
He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was?
No clue.
Really?
Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere?
He's hiding something. God, I'm so tired. Wow, look at it though. What amazing horn-shaped device is pointing toward the Crystal Tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of that thing to wherever they're going. I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Runo. It was set up to beam people for the Crystal Tower where they'd be reconstructed in their original form. Well, I don't like the look of it. It's as if it was amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course. I suppose that's true, yes. But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrine was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think.
Touch anything, I'll make sure I kill you before I can strangle myself here.
I won't touch the thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims?
Hey, asks, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, Sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly, the annoying, obstructive flaming rules. Oh, look at the base of the machine there. Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh. It's a screwdriver, I think. Oh, isn't it a lovely one? A handle is in the shape of a capital letter A. It is. Oh yes, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything I said. Don't touch anything, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, whatever. I understand, sorry. I only touched it a teeny weeny bit. Does it have blood on it? But Gregsy, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really, very, very curious. Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spawning something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it. But Reno found it first. I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. I promise! He's gone off with it. That was very mean. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Poor Gregsy. Right. Are you done here, Miss Nada? Sorry? Isn't it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving. Can I check something real quick? How old is this dude? I just want to check. Masked Man. Oh, God. Odie Assman. 53, 47, 33, 33. They're the same age. Wow. 18, 45. Chat. She's 18. That I have no further comment. I just wanted to let y'all know. Anyways, that lot are here now. Forensics. That lot. A forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me the heave-ho in a minute too. Oh dear, poor Gregsy. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up. Oh, here we go. Just drink the fucking tea already. Jesus Christ. Ah, that is the sport. Yeah, it's it every time. Well, at least I've seen the scene with my own eyes. It looks like this is as far as we're going to get with our investigations here, at least. I've been thinking. Hurley might know something, mightn't he? About what? About Mr. Reaper. About what happened to Lord Van Zeeks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he? Here, this is what you need. What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tussbells. Is this supposed to mean something to me? You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction here in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like. No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow. But that's where Hurley is. What? At this popular London attraction? Yes. How is it that you know where he is? Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Runo. Madame Tussbells? I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened, and when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Let's go. Let's get out of here. We're going to Madame Tussbells. My jaw is getting tired. I might end it like at 3.5 hours instead of 4. Waxworks. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Wax, huh? What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes. But why are all the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murders. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight. They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? That's gotta be Sholmes right over there. That doesn't look like a, does it look like him? That might not be him though. What do you think, Reno? Shocked? It looks like Mr. Bede's scarf from the last one. Wax models? Ah. I read about the dead bodies in wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called a adiposcary. What? Stop talking about creepy things like that, Reno. You're scaring me. Anyway, adiposcary doesn't form readily, you know.
It's only in very specific. Ah! What now? I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. None of the exhibits in here are real. That looks so anime, doesn't it? They're all entirely man-made replicas. They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them. Oh. There's no way. And no, that guy looks too old to be Sholmes, actually. Never mind. There's no. Oh my fucking god, Mr. Sholmes. There's no way anyone can make models of people that are this realistic. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait. What is it? Oh. No. I must be seeing things. What is this? What is this? I didn't see this earlier. Is this an arm? Dot. It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the waxwork models has fallen over. You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you? Runo, stop scaring me. Is it a wax arm or a real one? Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels. Objection! Well, let's read the plaque. That big heavy oh, fucking A, man. I have a nasty feeling there's going to be something truly terrifying behind it. Oh yes, that's the famous Tuskville special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look? Pay more money to even be more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment. It was only a suggestion. Well, let's go B. Let's look at this one first. This one looks like anime, doesn't it? I don't know. Is this some infinite murderer? Yes, called Jane the Ripper. Genocide Jack and Genocide Jill. Oh my god, I just got like, I just got flashbacks, bro. All our victims were young women. I knew it! You can tell by the way she's holding that knife. Sure sign of a murderer. Well, yes. What's the matter, Runo? I've worked it out, I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she can have a soak in her victim's gore. Not according to the information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub. Really? Sorry, I don't think it's significant. Damn it. I still think it has to be there for a reason. Look at Miss Jane. Honestly, chat, I could fix her. Anyways. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing there, man? These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human. Or maybe all the exhibits are real people. And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about. Ugh, just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. I can't look at that one anymore? Can I look at this man? No, okay. I don't want to look at him. God. Jack the Ripper and Jane the Ripper, huh? Is this an example of Western Sujigiri? Sujigiri? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Me neither. You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword? I still don't know, no. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, do you think, Runo? Doing that Sujigiri thing you mentioned? Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least. Whoa. Whoa, hey, dude. Hey now, Ryunosuke. It's the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here. Really? Well, he is world famous after all. It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it. I know. But look, Runo, you can kick this Hurley, and he doesn't move a muscle. him in the back! Look at him in the back! You can't go around kicking these if it's wait. It just moved, I'm sure, and not just a little bit either. Huh? Really? Did it? And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy, much more appealing. Hold it! My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes! I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruto. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And that kick, could you not have exercised a little bit more restraint? You winded me. But Reno has something he needs to ask you. Question. And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are. Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss. Oh, Hurley, you do talk nonsense, do you? He could know something, it's true. About Lord Van Zeeks and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you're in luck, I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm quite in a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that is related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work. What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? No! Sholmes! What is this place? My god. Okay. Madame Tuspels came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan, too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tuspels family, they say. They have earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. Ugh, that sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned. Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses right there at the site of the executions. That really turns my stomach. That's just one of several legends about the Tuspels family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors. House of Horrors? Of course, visitors' numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition, but people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows, so they're even stiffer now than the models of them. Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. So, the hideous exhibits in here are... They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place. Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork, is he? Temporary waxwork. What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Dot to dot. Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them. Every half an hour, I home in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to ensnare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money! He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent. And I have the ravenous iris to consider. Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry. If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bitch, Mr. Naruhodo. What's he threatening to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Miss Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril. Oh my god, he's pissed. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or does his final remark there sound a lot like a curse? Something to ask you. Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zieks. Ah, friend Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I trust. Oh, let's talk about him. And so I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I had learned. About Lord Van Zieks, about Professor Hairbrain, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at university together. I can't believe I'm doing this again on Sunday. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zieks such a different person. I was sure that you'd know, Hurley. ... You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before. That something was afoot. That you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Sholmes? He's suddenly clammed up. Well, it seems we've reached the unavoidable... Greetings. Oh no, she's hot! Hello! Where did she appear from? And what's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I can't see her yet. I hope you are appreciating my museum. Sorry? Have we? Mr. Sholmes, do you know this? Not again. My apologies. I am Esmeralda Tuspels. This is my museum of waxwork. What? You're the Madame Tuspels? Show her to me! Okay. Bien sûr. Though only 26 years young, I might add. Is that significant somehow? I am a madame in name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi. Right. I need to give her a little Frenchiness, a little bit of Frenchiness with her mystique. I want to see her bio. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks. Or rather, one waxwork in particular. That'll be Mr. Sholmes then? I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble. She sounds deadly serious. That's the problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zieks now? Let's not forget what Hurley said before about something being afoot. Right here in the museum, I mean. Yes, I know, but... I'm so curious, I want to know what's happening here. Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Please talk with me. The waxworks. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tuspels? Let me just check one more time. Yes! She looks amazing. Okay, anyways. I'm just simping a little bit. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, chat. I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know. Gosh! It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were secured. I don't know what that was. Living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. Though that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing life-likeness. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. Oh god. What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminals past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of real people on which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions. That is the secret to the extraordinary life-likeness. That sounds terrifying. All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see. Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying? Do not fear. Sorry? This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians. Something for every taste, I hope. It was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it. Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things. The Great Detective Waxwork. What's the situation with that? My temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal. Oh, what sort of proposal? A marriage proposal. My dear madame, what these sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective. Or words to that effect. Ha! Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective. It's great detective, actually? He's very specific about it. Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms. Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services? For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. That's great. Or words to that effect. Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch. Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment, due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead. Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing, though, does he? I would think not, but he was very insistent. I have a 50 shilling problem. That must be resolved by the morning. Or words to that effect. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem. Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Something afoot. I wonder, could I ask you something? Bien sûr. I'm just curious, is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps? Je ne sais quoi. Whoever suggested such a thing to you? Oh, well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little. Oh, he's disappeared. A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. There you are. Receiving the exhibit again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down? My dear Madame Tuspel, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not involve the police. Why ever not? She's turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal the great detective, whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though please be aware that I prefer... No, I insist upon payment in advance. Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Before I engage my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain? I'm doing French into Sholmes for some reason. That is the Tuspel special exhibit. There's an extra charge to see it. Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a serial killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Absolutely none. There's nothing amiss behind there. Nothing amiss, madame? What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I do French and it's contagious. I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens. Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a second. assistant. I don't know French. My sister would be pissed at me if she heard me right now. No 139. I must confess, I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tuspel special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however... The no! Is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor. That was the freaking foreman of the jury in the trial of Mr. McGilded. Huh? Well, then perhaps, Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even a waxwork, in fact. What? As skillfully made as the waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans. So, allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in the special exhibit. Why? Why would you say that? And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. Ah! She looks as pale as a candle wax. I don't understand. So, Madame Tuspels, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Fuck, no, I can't do this right now. I can't do this right now. The great deduction, oh fuck. Waxworks fate. Oh god, no, wait, let me save. Can I save right here? I'ma save. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to come back to this later because that is gonna be the end of the stream today. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It's been an absolute pleasant time having you guys here. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. We're gonna be doing a raid. We will raid riddles. Everybody hop into the raid. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys here. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope I made you guys' day better because I know you guys make my day better every time I come out here. Have a great one, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully, where we will be playing the Cheese Bowl number 7. See you guys then.
Alright, I gave the buzz the code. Hopefully he... hopefully he's actually set up, unlike Zomba. Fucking Zomba just goes